Good morning, everybody. What a game last night. I'll tell you what, real quick. I don't know how many people watched the game. I'm a little hoarse this morning. I was screaming at my TV. Win, lose, or draw, if the Seahawks would have lost that, it would have still been a hell of a game. But they won, which was just awesome. Russell Wilson's the MVP. I don't know what to tell you. He has more touchdowns than anybody. He's got better pass rates than anybody. A lot of people are like, Lamar Jackson's killing it. But Russell Wilson's been overlooked for a long time as MVP. So naturally, he probably won't get it because Baltimore's on the East Coast. But that doesn't matter. You know what? Seahawks, they took down the undefeated 49ers. That was a hell of a game. I mean, overtime, missed field goals, defensive touchdowns, interceptions, untimely interceptions, dropped interceptions, sacks, strip fumbles. Jesus Christ. That was insane. That was a lot of fun. I absolutely was so glad that was my team on Monday Night Football. Just playing hard and doing everything. The 49ers are an incredibly good team. They probably win that game if Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback, like above average. I don't think he's all that great, to be totally honest. But let's get into some overreactions. Cue the music. Okay. All right. So let's overreact real quick here to a couple of things. One, Dave, you scored 70 points, dog. I don't know what to tell you. You want to be pissed at me about my points against? That's fine. Put up more fucking points, dude. I put up 112. In fact, guess what? You want to complain about points against? That's fine. Guess who has the most points in the league, average? This guy. So I don't give a fuck, all right? I'm yelling. I got neighbors and stuff like that next door to the work. But the point is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. My points against is really good. It's really low. That's really lucky. And I probably wouldn't be exactly where I am in the, like, if you were to map out certain things and strategize. But guess what? I fucking am. Who cares? All right? I put up 112. I picked up the Steelers defense because they were a free agent. And I was like, wow, their schedule's super cake. And then, yeah, they scored 25 points, which I did not expect them to. But you have the Browns defense, man. You could have picked them up. I'm sorry. The Browns are a fucking terrible team. You could have picked up the Browns, the Steelers defense. Anyone could have picked up the Steelers defense. In fact, if you look at, like, points overall, like, what the Steelers are at, they're, like, way up there. And they were just sitting there as they're, like, a free agent. And they're number 3. They're number 3. They were a free agent. It's not even close. Yeah, the Patriots are at nearly 200, and then it's a massive drop-off to the 49ers at 144, and then the Steelers at 142, and then the Carolinas at 122, a couple of hundreds, and then it's under 100. They were a free agent, man. Fucking look at that stuff, dude. Everyone, like, kickers, defenses, like, that little thing, like, Karn has a very bad record right now, which is unfortunate because he's, you know, he's averaging, I think, like, what is he, third highest? He's third highest. He's second highest. He's higher than Ty. Karn has the second highest points for in the entire league. And he has the number 1 defense. That's incredibly, unfortunate. And I feel bad for the guy. Only a little bit, though, because rivalries run deep, you know, Karn. But yeah, that sucks. And he's still not out of it because that division is terrible. Cooter, you were 500 for 4 days. God. Or excuse me, you had a winning record for 4 days. Now you're 500. So Karn is not out of it yet. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. Ty has rattled off 9 straight. I don't know what the league the record is. I don't think anyone's ever gone undefeated. I know Suey was really close 2 years ago, and I disrupted that right in the middle of it somewhere, but that was the only loss. But Ty lost the first week, and he has rattled off 9 straight wins, which is crazy. I'm at 8 in a row. I lost at week 2, so I'm right behind him with that, which is just super cool stuff. Silence right behind me. He's pretty much locked up that second spot. I don't remember how many more weeks we got. I know he's pretty close. Looks like someone proposed a trade to me. That's kind of exciting. I haven't even looked at that yet. Let's take a look at that real quick. I didn't even notice that. Who wants to trade? Holy crap. Oh my God. Brian. Okay, let's break down this trade real quick, everybody. Brian would love me to give up Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, Mark Ingram, James White, Nelson Aguilar, Keenan Allen, Marquise Brown, Allen Robinson, Austin Hooper, Jason Witten, Matt Gay, Will Lutz, and the Steelers defense. He will give up Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, Kalen Ballage, don't even know. Oh, he's the guy. Oh, yeah, that's right. The backup, or third string. I don't know. He's on the Dolphins, whatever. Melvin Gordon, keeper. Carlos Hyde, Alexander Madison, Stephon Diggs, Scary Terry, Emmanuel Sanders, Sterling Shepard, Hunter Henry, Mike the Chargers kicker, also Houston's kicker, 2 for 2 kickers, very nice, and the Rams defense, who I think was they were top 5, I think, so pretty close. So that's a trade that's just been proposed to me. I'm gonna go ahead and you know what? I was going to accept that. Warning, transaction would create an invalid roster for Dirty. 14 players on roster exceeds the limit of 13. Wah, wah. That would fail. It was so close. I was actually, you know what, I was thinking about it just so I could limp into the playoffs with your team and then probably still win it. I don't know about that, but you know what I'm saying. It would have been funny. But illegal roster can't happen. I am sorry. I'm terribly sorry, Brian. We cannot make that trade, but I'll send you a counter, and you're gonna have to keep a player. So I'll just roll the dice, man. I'll roll the dice. I'll see how many upkeeps I can get from that, and keep someone. So breakdown real quick here before I overreact. Actually, I'm gonna overreact to everyone. Ty put up a bunch of points and won. Shocking, right? Suey put up 100, almost 100 points. Man, almost 100. Then that's your year, right? Almost 100, Suey. Yeah, 99.4. Maybe you should have put in Sam Darnold. I don't know. Maybe you should look at your matchups. Maybe not start Aaron Rodgers against one of the top defenses on the road. Or sorry, they're at home. They're at home. Where the Jets at? The Jets were at home too against a terrible defense. I don't know if that'd put you over. Probably wouldn't have. Doesn't really matter. You have the curse. You're playing against Lamar Jackson, man. Lamar Jackson's killing it. It's not a surprise that the top 2 quarterbacks in the league are also MVP races and also on the top 2 teams. Quarterbacks kill it. I mean, you had to go against studs that Ty has, J.D. McKissick, insane, and A.J. Brown, who had a whole 17-yard catch. But the Ravens defense, man, look at that. Jeez, pick 6, fumble recovery for a touchdown. They annihilated the Bengals. So Ty looks like he's getting that bye. I know he said he secured the A bracket. I haven't done the math yet. Silent, still nipping. Kyler Murray, buddy, that guy. Kyler Murray and Dalvin Cook put up 60 for you, and then the rest of it were single digits. So you better be ready. Someday they're gonna have a cold game. You hope your other team can pull up for it. Tyler Lockett, I'm sorry about that. Rumor is that he got a massive bruise that can be a contusion or something like that. But they said it's probably not that, so you're probably fine. Plus, they're on the bye week now, so you're probably going to be good. He'll be back and good to go. You played against Run CMC, who, guess what? Christian McCaffrey, CMC, put up a 30 points, dog, but that was only 65. Kel. I won't. You know what happened, Brian. I'm sorry, buddy. Stretch put up 80, and it was almost enough. 80s are nearly 80. It's 79.5. It's a respectable number, but usually not going to get there. I think 80s for me. 80s is a pretty round number to usually get you wins. If you're over 80, you're in probably really good shape most of the time. If you're under 80, you're not in great shape, unless the week is like that. Usually, you're going to get yourself a loss if you're under 80. So looking actually real quick here, I think let's see here. Everyone that put under 80 lost except for one guy. Let's go to that one real quick here. Mannion, Mick, come on, buddy. I don't even know what you got here. Could you have done anything different? Jacob Hollister? You don't put in Jacob Hollister? That guy's catching hella touchdowns. Dude, come on, man. I don't know what I know he's 4 touchdowns in 3 games? He put up 15.5 points versus the Bucks. He had another 12.5 point game. I'm actually really mad about that because I didn't realize that he was going to be that good. When I thought that Luke Wilson was going to step up when Will Dissly went down, which was really bummer. But he did. Now he's on a bye, so no, he's a must start from here on out. The Seahawks are going to get Ed Dixon back. That probably won't matter so much. That guy's really old. You went against the guy who, Rash, his tight end scored him nothing, and one of his wide receivers had a 5-yard catch. It feels bad. So that stinks. Skunk could have put up like actual numbers this week. Good job, buddy. 110. That was third highest behind Ty got number 1, and I got number 2. You got number 3, and then Miss Keto got number 4. Looks like his guys actually did what they're supposed to. Le'Veon Bell had double digits. Josh Jacobs, that guy's like, didn't even realize that guy's having like an absolute like awesome season because I don't pay attention to the Raiders at all. But he's double digits. A couple more guys double digits. In fact, like your lowest score was like 7.5 points by your tight end, which is respectable, and 8 points from your defense. And everyone else did great. You beat up on Cooter. Cooter had Dak Prescott, and then a bunch of single-digit guys, like mid-single-digit guys. That's real bad. So let's overreact here real quick. We got some games coming up this week. My first overreaction is, Brian, I would have accepted that trade. Unfortunately, it would have made an illegal roster, so I'm going to have to respectfully decline. I'm going to be playing Kel this week. Kel just put up monster numbers from some random. I expect the win. So Kel, once again, this is not just like a joke anymore. I think it's like the 4th week in a row. Kel is 10.5 point favorite above me, so I'm probably going to win by 15. You have Silent versus Ty. I'm really rooting for Ty on that one because I believe if Ty wins, then that puts me in the A bracket guaranteed as a first-round bye for the 2nd year in a row. You have Run CMC versus the Turd. Of course, I want the Turd to win. CMC's a less than a point favorite, so I'm assuming that'll be a pretty close one. I don't know what's going on with Dave's matchup. I think Sui's probably got some people on a bye or something like that because Dave's like a 30-point favorite. So I'm sure Sui will make some trades. He'll figure some stuff out. He's still fighting for something. B bracket? You're still fighting for B bracket, right? I think. You got Stretch versus Rick. You know, that's kind of the, Stretch is, I mean, actually, he needs that win. Skunk, you know what? Respectfully, you drafted at a wedding, and you're only a game out of the Stretches rattled off 2 losses in a row. I didn't even see that. Where all the rest of the division is winning. So that's actually going to be not a bad little matchup there. Maybe Rick, who's lost 4 in a row, can be a little spoiler there. And then we go down to, what do we got here? Skunk. Speaking of Skunk, he is playing Mick. Not to be confused with Rick. I don't know what's going to happen there. You guys are both kind of around the same thing. Skunk's only averaging he's not even 80 points, but he put up a big one this week. So that could go either way. Both of those players are still in contention. In fact, both of those guys are only 1 game out of their division. So actually, that's a huge game too. Now that I kind of dwell into it a little bit more, both of those guys are only 1 game out of their division. So that's a big one. Cooter versus Rash. Rash is he's not having a good year. Cooter's got to hang on to that lead, so Rash is looking to play spoiler. And then Karn versus Keto. Karn, I don't know where you're at on here. Oh yeah, you're real close to it too. So you got to get that win. Keto, you're 2 games out, but you're on a winning streak and you're averaging over 90 points versus Karn, who's still over 100. But that's pretty much your matchups. I don't know who's going to win. I'm going to take a look. I haven't done well this year in the pick'em anyway, so who gives a shit? I've been doing terrible. All I know is that when you are 9-1 and your Seahawks put together an insane game the night before, you're flying pretty high. So I'm going to talk a little shit on the boards and stuff like that and have a little fun. I saw Sui kind of did a little what-if thing, which you know how far what-ifs make it. That's just like week 4 of the NFL. It's like, who's in the playoff race? Who gives a shit? What happens is my PA is really low. It's super low. It's 73.5 points. It's probably because the rest of you guys suck, and I don't. I don't know what to tell you, man. Other than that, go Hawks.